Loktarogar, hey everybody, it's Jason Blah here, everyone's favorite orc mercenary. And you know what? There's a trend of a few other YouTube channels trying to call me the fake merc. I think you're calling me a fake merc. What's your arena rating, bro? What's your arena rating, bro? I'm a real mercenary in games. You need to learn to respect the skills. Alright, but back to this workout. Some of you guys will get the cross references there. And if you don't, then nobody cares. It's all good. So, I didn't even feel like training today. I wanted to shoot today. I went to the range, did shooting instead of my normal training, then came back, trained later. Didn't even want to do that, but did it anyways because I said, you know what, I need to get in. At the very least, I need to squat, bench, and do pull-ups, right? I don't care if I'm sleepy or tired. I need to get this stuff done. All about getting it done. That is the one thing, though, I am noticing now. The calories are lower. I need more sleep. Really appreciate my sleep more now. Like I think I slept like 9 hours last night, just continuous. I slept in later. Like I told you guys, a lot of times I get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, right? I woke up at like 6:30. Seriously, I woke up at 6:30 this morning. Now a lot of people be like, Jason, you know, YouTube is your job. This is your full-time job. Do you really have to get up that early? I'm like, it's a habit. I'm a morning person. So I went to bed at like 9:15 last night. All right, cranked up some like rain sounds, you know, turned my fan on so I get a little ambient noise and just passed out. And I woke up at 9:30. So yeah, it's unusual for me because I normally just get up at 4. It's my natural wake-up time. But right now that I'm losing weight, I'm just sleeping later naturally. And you know, I almost, it's gonna sound funny, it almost makes me feel lazy. And it's mainly because I'm a morning person. I feel like I get up and I'm productive in the morning. And this morning I got up and did my videos. Then I went and did some shooting. You know, then I came home and, you know, I didn't even want to train. But I'm like, no, I need to train. I really need to get under the squat bar. So I did. I think what I need to do, though, the more I look at different data on volume and stuff, I think because I'm doing these lifts every day, realistically, I probably only need around 2 work sets for everything. You know, try to get 1 heavy single on these big lifts and then a set of 5, 2 real good sets of pull-ups, all that stuff. That's going to be just about the right amount of volume. You know, because my other stuff is different. My deadlifts are kind of more technique and grip. My dips are just there for some extra total upper body volume. But, you know, 2 good sets of squats every day, 2 good sets of bench every day, 2 good sets of pull-ups every day. That gives me 12 work sets a week on each of those 3 big lifts. Then I have my extra stuff from there. And I think just to get the training volume combined with getting the low reps, I really do need to hit that single and, you know, shoot for something that's around a heavy 5-rep set. And like I did on the squats, I'm going to bump the weight up slowly. I would rather go ahead and get a little more weight for a 5-rep set than try to do 2 5-rep sets with lighter weight. I do need to keep a certain amount of tension on the bar. And like I said, ultimately, that gives me about 12 working sets every week to maintain on while I'm losing body weight. And I think that's going to be right about the amount of volume I can really handle. And then, you know, when I have room for other stuff, I'll do more dips and the deadlifting and everything. And I'm sorry, guys, my dog is going to bark. There's nothing I can do about it. It's like if I don't put up with it, because it's just that time of afternoon, that time of evening, he's just going to be loud. Then you don't get a workout video. That's the 2 options. So it's that time of night because I didn't finish training till later, and there's a lot of people and stuff outside and people walking their dogs. You know, I wish he didn't do that, but I don't want to put a bark collar on him either right now. You know, I'd have to though when I need to film, but I'd rather not. Just deal with it. So I came in, did my normal stuff. Did get my 5 reps today though. I think yesterday I only did 4 on the back offset on the bench. I was just feeling fatigued. But today it was all fine. The numbers were all good. I mean, I hit all my target lifts just fine. It's just that general sense of fatigue. But you know what? I've got to just push in and get the training done and just get more sleep. And, you know, try to get more rest, more sleep, recover. Because ultimately, it's all about rest, recovery, fuel, right? Rest, recovery, fuel. In addition to your training stimulation. And right now, I don't have the fuel. But my body wants that extra rest. So the way I feel about it is, again, just maybe getting that little bit of extra sleep will make up for the reduced calories in terms of just additional recovery. You've got to balance things out, particularly if you're going to train fairly heavy, like 5-6 days a week. You're going to be squatting every day, stuff like that. You really need to balance your recovery. You got to balance it all out. And I do enjoy this style of training. That's kind of a point that people have brought up. You need to adapt the style of training to your goals, not adapt your goals to the training. It's like, well, no, not really. I think like this style of training can adapt to whatever goal. You have to adjust your weekly volume. You might have to adjust your rep ranges. You might have to adjust your intensities. You might even have to adjust to some extent exercise selection, and that's okay. But, whether you're bulking, cutting, trying to gain strength, gain muscle, I think this sort of system works just fine for all of it. And I enjoy it. And for me, it's about consistency. That's ultimately what a big part of it comes down to for me. It's about knowing that you do need to lift every day, other than maybe your 1 day a week you schedule off, and to go in and do it no matter what, so that laziness and apathy doesn't set in. And I think that's a big part of it. It's just about the daily habit. It's about the daily habit. And that's really what it is. Because that consistency is everything. And we could argue all that we want about the frequency of a system like this. We can argue about it. But it teaches consistency. And it's something that you've got to get done each day. And for someone like me who works from home as a YouTuber, it's kind of a full-time gig, having stuff that's consistent, having a schedule, having a routine, a daily schedule and routine becomes very, very important. That stuff's easy, when you've got a normal 9-to-5 job. It's easy when you've got a normal 9-to-5 job. It really is, because you have to get up and go to work. You've got to do these things. And I think that's one of the factors. That's why I see a lot of YouTubers who claim they don't make that much money, and I look at their subscriber count. I'm like, dude, you're not making $500,000 a year. You're not optimizing on what you're doing. You're letting that laziness of being a YouTuber set in, because you're content to just squeeze by on that 50-60 grand. You should be making $500,000 with your subscriber count. I would be with your count. That's the way you got to look at it. It is about staying on top of everything. It really is. And when you do something like this for a living, I think it's very, very easy for that apathy and that laziness to set in. I think it's very easy for that to happen. And I think a training system like this, for people whose lifestyle needs them to have a certain type of structure in order to balance their life out, both in turn professionally and privately and everything else, and socially, I think a system like this works for certain types of people. And that's ultimately what it comes down to, because there are some people who think they can't stand this sort of training system, and there are people who thrive at it and go on to compete at the world level in strength sports. And I think a lot of it has to do with your psychology, your mentality. And for me, it's about establishing habits. Just like I was talking about establishing the eating habits, it's about establishing the training habits. I'm getting more into that mindset of the eating habits becoming the norm, to where I'm now looking at stuff like, I don't need a cheat day. I've been 3 months without a cheat day. What's another 3 months ultimately, compared to the long-term goals. That's the way you've got to look at it. And it's not necessarily all of this about having discipline. It's about creating discipline. Discipline is something that you have to create in yourself. It's not something that you're just born with, right? You create discipline with your habits. All right. It takes you to have a certain degree of discipline to decide you're just going to get up and squat every day, no matter what. It takes a certain amount of discipline to say that you're going to push away that donut when it's offered every day, and you're going to eat some more protein. It literally is about practicing what it is that you want and making it habit. And when you make things habit and you make them the norm, then you develop discipline, right? And that's what I'm talking about with this. It's all it is. It's about developing discipline. That no matter what happens every day, I need to squat. Even if I get nothing else done productive as far as exercise or training, at least if I get under a squat bar, at least if I squat, at least if I bench, I've done something. It's about establishing habits, whether it's with your strength training, whether it's with your diet, whether it's with any of this stuff, whether it's with, getting other stuff under control. Like for me, I like to drink. I I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks either at night. And I like to have a drink before bed, but I've thought about it, and it's like, is that little bit of buzz I get before bed every night, is it going to be worth an extra pound of body fat every month that I could really stand to lose at this point in the game? Going, well, maybe I don't need it that bad. And now that I've been 2 weeks without having a glass of wine or a shot of Jaeger or anything before bed, I don't really miss it. It's like I'm fine with that. It's like I know eventually I'll probably go back to a glass of wine before bed. But right now, I just feel it's counterproductive to my goals. And so I don't miss it enough to let it interfere. And it's just establishing that habit of, I was in the habit of doing it every night. Now I'm not. So it doesn't fit my goals, right? Just like eating that piece of pizza doesn't fit my goals right now. It's just not worth it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.